What's up, everyone? Thralls Mellow here once again. I'm Necrotic Nick.
I'm Shredlord.
I'm Jammin Jon.
And we have an album review for you. Or rather, an EP review.
An EP review.
We are going to go over the newest offering from Enslaved, Caravans to the Outer Worlds. This comes out on the 1st of October, the first of many releases that are coming out in October. We're going to be running a bit of a gauntlet here. But this comes out on the 1st on Nuclear Blast Records. This is their 4th EP overall, 15 full lengths. We actually reviewed the last one, Utgard, which was pretty fucking amazing. It's been formed in 1991 in Norway when founding members Grutle and Ivar were 17 and 13 respectively, and they have kept going and kept progressing. This band's sound has changed a lot over the years, and I think we're kind of entering another shift in their sound because Utgard was decidedly more leaning on prog metal. Still black metal elements. Of course, you have Grutle's token vocals, which are fucking awesome. But this is, again, another interesting shift. It's similar to Utgard, but this kind of stands alone as its own thing, as kind of a interesting experimental EP.
I feel like this could be something that maybe two songs that didn't make the album, that were maybe slightly out of sync with the rest of the material, and they're like, you know what, maybe we'll set this aside and release this as an EP, because I thought it had a lot of similar threads to Utgard, but maybe not as much as the rest of the album gelled.
So maybe they were like B-sides to that.
Yeah.
I think these were composed separately, but they still have that feel. So, I mean, I think maybe the idea was once after they, got done with Utgard, they were kind of still feeling the itch to write, and they wanted to write something, again, maybe that wouldn't necessarily fit on Utgard, because Utgard's an interesting album. It's really all over the place. This is also all over the place, but differently. Opening track, the title track, is probably the most recognizable instantly as Enslaved. And actually, that one I kind of feel like is kind of carryover from Utgard. Pretty much has their token sound, interesting prog metal synths, black metal riffs, Grutle's insane vocals, really interesting cleans, but with blast beats behind them, which is something I'd like to hear more. I think that's just kind of a cool thing.
A little spoken word.
Yeah, and mood, like mood building, dynamic shifts, the whole twisted sort of journey that Enslaved likes to go on virtually every song here lately.
Sad teenage girl Moody.
Yeah, or Moody Viking. He's the only one left in the boat.
Sad Moody
Viking teenager.
They left me here
on mushrooms.
They said I wasn't brave enough.
I brought the shield and the sword. I don't understand why they didn't bring me. Watch the boat, they said. Boring.
Now, the only other full track is a title called Rune 2, The Epitaph. And it is pretty weird to start out. I think it's almost like a cello.
I don't know
what it is. It sounds like a low-end string. My guess is a cello or a stand-up bass. But regardless, it was kind of cool. It had a bowed effect, which gave it a little bit of a unique characteristic, to say the least. Especially, it also had this heavy, clean acoustic guitar going on.
Yeah,
very pretty.
In the beginning, I liked that.
And it carried out through a lot. And it just, together, it kind of created a weird... Nothing I've ever really heard them do much.
It differs in the back half of that song, though. In the beginning of it, it sounds more cello-ish, and in the back half, it sounds like an effect on a bass.
Yeah. It's a weird sort of like pattern too. Like it's a little like triple picked and like, I don't know, it's kind of like Morse code almost. It's a really interesting
They're summoning Satan.
Or some ancient Viking god. It's an interesting track. I think it's supposed to be a sequel to the song Rune off the album Rune. Very different. So I mean, at least they didn't try to rework the original, because that's one of my favorite Enslaved tracks. But very interesting, and this is where I didn't know I'd be actually writing down the word psychedelic, because it's kind of psychedelic and moody. More clean vocals on this than actually harsh vocals too. And I think some of these cleans are actually Grutle's, which he's not known as the main singer in there. Generally they have, everyone else, Ivar, Icedale, and the new keyboardist whose name is probably fiercely Norwegian and I can't pronounce it. They all contribute more on clean vocals. Grutle is doing like more of a low baritone chant
Which
now.
Which kind of sounds like Rammstein a little bit.
A little bit, or David Bowie.
David Bowie. I got a lot of Bowie out of that.
Either way, it's very interesting, and kind of once again, Enslaved is just doing what they do. And it's kind of unique. They really don't sound like anyone else.
They're doing what they want.
Yeah.
And that's cool too. They're not trying to sell records. They're just,
Well, they are selling records, but yeah.
But I mean, like, yeah, they're making music for them.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. They wanted to do like a proggy journey, and this is definitely a journey because it really goes all over the place.
Now, to fill in between, we get 2 intermezzos. Intermezzo 1, I don't know the name. I just kindly refer to it as Intermezzo 1, the gobbly-goo.
Long-leg, good-leg. I don't know. It's some sort of Norwegian monster that creeps into your house and steals your testicles at night.
Also known as the gobbly-goo. I really like this, although it be short. Be it although short. It almost had a, you said it was like a video game sequence where you're talking to somebody.
Yeah.
I said it's almost like a boss fight from Castlevania. It had, the organs gave it this 80s Nintendo 8-bit video game feel that I liked. Yeah, it was cool.
Either way, I don't want to buy the potion. I'm not buying wares from this guy.
Yeah, I feel like it was like one of those little segments where you go in and you talk to the shopkeep and there's a lot of text you gotta skip. But I like this track. It's just very strange. And honestly, like, this kind of feels like an October sort of release thing. It's kind of got like the maybe Halloweenish vibe. I like the more gothic feel of it.
It's All Hallows Eve.
And then when it closes like super Sabbathy. Ooh.
Yeah.
The big
stoner
doomy
jam.
riff. Oh.
Yep.
It's like
Stank
Sleep
face.
snuck in the studio. I was like, yeah, we got this. It's all right. Can we play this for the next 52 minutes, though? But they didn't. They held them to, like, 2.
Yeah.
Good job.
However, Intermezzo 2 Navigator is almost like a classic throwback heavy metal jam.
That's what I thought, too.
I dig it.
It was really cool.
Sounded like an 80s montage, to be
Yes.
honest.
Really interesting bass lead in, like, and again, kind of that psychedelic feel, but it gets to like the big 80s riff. Like, I mean, you hear this instantly recognizable as a very classic sounding metal riff, and just kind of a weird fade out towards the end. I kind of wanted it to keep going, which was kind of my issue on this. Like, the intermezzos especially, I felt like I was listening to like a really cool bridge section in like maybe a 13-minute song. But again, EPs.
It's an EP, yeah.
They're designed to tease and
Trailer to the movie, man. You got to remember that.
Yeah. And honestly, this is a good trailer. Like, this does get me psyched up for future releases, as if they really had to psych me up, because I love
Mission
Enslaved.
accomplished.
Yeah.
I like the push towards the more proggy stuff. I mean, I kind of miss some of the heavier guitars in the earlier albums, but what all is going on in there, you kind of have to sacrifice some stuff in the mix so everything's heard.
So, let's break it down to rating. There's not too much to work with. There's 4 tracks, 18 minutes. 2 of them feel like incomplete tunes, although be it good incomplete jams. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. There is enough of the leftover Utgard feel, which I liked a lot of, so that was kind of cool, and I hope the next album continues on that direction. And once again, although the intermezzos brief, they were really cool and unique, and something I haven't really heard them do. So kudos to that. 3.5 out of 5. Check it out if you're a fan of Enslaved.
I am also going to go with a 3.5. This works as a teaser. The intermezzos, I do feel like they're incomplete, but I like what they're doing in them, and I like the fact that Enslaved continues to keep pushing their sound and remaining super creative. Like, honestly, I think they're one of the most exciting bands in progressive metal, black metal, whatever, just metal in general, because they constantly keep pushing in different directions, and they seem to excel. In my mind, they haven't missed since Below the Lights, and that was like over 20 years ago. So, way to go.
Good track record.
Solid EP. I like what I hear in here, and if this is stuff that carries over to the next album, I'm on board. So yeah, definitely check this one out.
I'm gonna give it a 3. Solid jam. Yeah, short, but I mean, it's an EP. And I agree, I feel like the intermezzos kind of were just little incomplete snippets, or maybe there's something that's supposed to allude to what's coming on the full length, but that's what an EP should be.
The sampler track.
Yeah, good jam. I mean, I like Enslaved, and I like progression, and I like progressive music, and yeah.
That is Enslaved.
Yep, and you definitely want to go get this, because you definitely want to go get this. Go get fucking records.
Yeah.
Do it.
I'm ordering this pretty much after this camera shuts off.
And it could be worse. It could be Imagine Dragons. Imagine dragging these nuts across your face.
Lean you did it. But don't imagine.
I mean, I walked
horrible.
into that one earlier, but
You walked into his nuts?
not his nuts.
Okay.
I'm done seeing parts
Dragon
of this, man.
nuts.
Dragging these nuts. So, if you like the review, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are not subscribed to our channel, please hit the subscribe button. You will see all the neurotic, dumb things that the five of us do on a semi-regular basis. Also, there's a link down below if you'd like to support us on Patreon. We would greatly appreciate that. Also, we have some shirts left. If you'd like to get your hands on some, please send a link to thrallsofmetal@gmail.com with the title shirts, and we will send you an invoice.
And we still have a giveaway going on. Once we hit 7,500 subs, which we are over 7,300 now.
Yep.
So
Jeez.
time is key. Get in on that. All you have to do is comment on the giveaway video and the link down below. And you could get the stack of 8 CDs, including the new Cannibal Corpse with the ultra naughty artwork on it.
And thank you so much for being here, too. We
Yes.
really appreciate all the support that we get here at Thralls of Metal. I remember when we had 100 subs, and we thought that was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
In the words of Fred Rogers, we are glad you are our neighbors.
Yes. Like maybe not next door neighbors. That'd be a little weird.
Our internet neighbors.
Internet neighbors
Yes.
is good.
Won't you please,
Won't you please,
won't you be our neighbor?
Okay. So with that, we thank you all very much for watching, and we will catch you later.